People don't trust leaders who are just nice and they are vague. So they trust leaders who are consistent and clear. Clarity reduces uncertainty, and uncertainty is what actually creates stress. When people know where they stand, what is expected, what the boundaries are, what the priorities are, then they feel secure. That security is the foundation of trust.
Barrett, today's topic is one I suspect will make a few people uncomfortable, myself included. Honestly, clarity before harmony. Most founders I know, and I count myself in that group at various points, want a strong culture, a good relationships, a positive atmosphere. But you're saying that this focus can actually hurt the company. Before we get into your thinking, I'll admit my instinct has always been to smooth things over at first. So I'm curious, where does that go wrong? Let's start with the basics. What do you actually mean by clarity before harmony?
Clarity before harmony means that clear expectations, clear roles, and decisions have to come before any attempt to keep everyone comfortable. Most founders want people to feel good. That's not wrong in itself, but when harmony becomes the priority, they start avoiding tension, delaying decisions, softening messages, and the result is confusion.
That sounds very familiar. I've seen it on my own teams. And if I'm honest, I've done it myself. There's this assumption that if the atmosphere is good, performance will follow. But looking back, I think the opposite was often true. The teams that performed best were the ones where everyone knew exactly what was expected. The pleasant atmosphere came as a result, not as the cause. So, why do founders fall into this trap? Why do they consistently choose harmony over clarity?
It's because clarity creates short term discomfort. If you are direct, you might disappoint someone. You trigger a conflict or force a decision you'd rather postpone. Harmony feels safer in the moment.
And I think there's something else going on too. Founders often carry a very personal relationship with their team. These aren't just employees, they're people who believed in the idea early on, who worked long hours, who took risks. Telling someone clearly that their performance isn't good enough feels like a betrayal of that relationship. So you soften it. You tell yourself you're being kind.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. And that's where the confusion starts. The founder thinks they are being considerate. The employees hear something entirely different.
Insightful, very insightful. But what happens next? What does that actually cost the company?
Unclear expectations lead directly to frustration on both sides. The founder grows increasingly dissatisfied. The employee has no idea why. And the irony here is that the attempt to protect harmony ends up creating far more conflict down the line.
I'd call that a delayed explosion.
Right.
I've watched this play out with founders that I know. They avoid the hard conversation for 6 months, and then the situation blows up in a way that's 10 times harder to manage. And often the person being let go says, "Why didn't you tell me sooner?" Which is a fair question.
There's one thing I'd like to mention here. What the people are looking for is safety. So that's not harmony. If you are very clear and people know what you expect, that can give them a safety. And that's what they are looking for. And they are not safe if they think, why didn't you tell me sooner? That's
Yeah. Yeah. One thing I love working with you is bringing it back to concrete examples rather than this ether in the sky conceptual stuff. So, can you give a concrete example here, something that comes up regularly in your work with small and mid-sized business owners?
Yeah. For example, a founder knows that a team member is underperforming. But instead of addressing it directly, they give soft, vague feedback like, you're doing well overall. Just a few minor things to work on. The employee hears that as a reassurance. They think everything is fine. Meanwhile, the founder's frustration keeps building. Eventually, it escalates, often then to the point where the employment relationship has to end. And then the employee is blindsided.
So as I was listening there, what's striking to me in that scenario, both people are operating in good faith. The founder thinks they're being gentle. The employee thinks they're secure. But the gap between those two realities just keeps growing. It's not a dishonesty problem, it's a clarity problem.
Exactly. Both sides want to do it properly, want to do the right thing. And by doing, how can I say, by doing it wrongly, doing the right thing, it's just not working at all.
So, sorry to interrupt. I was just going to say there's a paradox here. The avoidance of conflict actually produces more conflict.
Yeah. Delayed clarity increases the cost of the problem. What could have been resolved with a single direct conversation in January becomes a legal issue by September.
And I think that's something founders also often don't calculate. They think avoiding the difficult conversation is cost free in the short term, but the compounding effect is real. The longer you wait, the more expensive the resolution in time, in money, and in team trust.
Yeah, and I'd like to add here, if there is a conflict, normally the conflict will not just go away. And conflicts in itself are not harmful. You and me will have conflicts, even if we like each other a lot. That's normal. Two different persons will have conflicts because they have different ideas. They have different direction where they want to do. They have different targets. That's okay. What's not as okay is escalating conflicts. And conflicts, especially if they escalate, in German we say below the carpet. So you don't see that, but it's... And then something happens like, now it's enough. And finally, the employee gets thrown out of the company. But that's because the founder did not use clarities to start early enough to talk about the problem.
Yeah, and you have a phrase that I keep coming back to in my mind. Clarity creates trust. That sounds counterintuitive. Most people assume trust is built through warmth, through being approachable. Tell me, make the case for clarity.
People don't trust leaders who are just nice and they are vague. So they trust leaders who are consistent and clear. Clarity reduces uncertainty, and uncertainty is what actually creates stress. When people know where they stand, what is expected, what the boundaries are, what the priorities are, then they feel secure. That security is the foundation of trust.
Wow. I think that's one of those things that sounds obvious once you say it, but runs completely counter to how most founders operate instinctively.
Absolutely.
We assume being liked is the path to being trusted, but in practice, the leaders I've respected most were the ones who were straight with me, even when it wasn't what I wanted to hear, especially then, actually.
Right.
So, where do you see this problem showing up most consistently in the companies you work with?
I see that in two areas. First, in roles and responsibilities. People often don't know what they are genuinely accountable for, which decisions they are allowed to make, where their boundaries are. So they either hesitate when they should act or they overstep without realizing it. Both create friction. Both creates conflicts. And second, being not, that's a German word I love to use, consequent. If rules are overstepped. So if you're not, help me there, Brian, what would be the right word for consequent? I love that German word. It's very close to clarity for me.
Yeah. So that's one of the unique things about the German language, that there's many words that there's not a direct translation to English. It derives from consequences, but it's deeper than that. In other words, if somebody oversteps the rules, there's consequences. But it's deeper than that because it drills into the intrinsic motivation within the employee. Okay, they're not actually a leader. They're not exhibiting leadership qualities. They're not consequent.
Yeah, but even the founder is not consequent. If the founder sees a problem and he just closes the eyes and is not clear in what that he says, well, that's not okay. You overstep a rule. And he just, oh, I don't want to see that. That's also, then he's not consequent in the German word. So it's both sides. Grab a copy of my free checklist for leaders at fipodcast.vip/OSVA. Again, that is fipodcast.vip/OSVA.
And speaking of the founder, they often don't see that as a clarity problem. They see it as a people problem. Why can't my team just take initiative? Or why does everyone come to me for every decision? But the real question is, have you actually made it clear what the scope of their role is?
Yeah, that's a very common mismatch. The founder is frustrated with the team's behavior. But the root cause is that the structure was never made explicit and that the founder is not consequent.
So, what is the founder's actual job in this? What does good leadership look like here?
The founder needs to define clarity, not to maintain comfort. That means making decisions explicit, setting clear expectations, and addressing issues early, not waiting until something becomes a crisis.
I'd also add that it means being willing to have the same conversation twice if necessary.
Right.
Founders sometimes have the clarity conversation once and then retreat back into vagueness because it felt uncomfortable. The discipline is staying clear over time, not just in a single difficult meeting. And you made a lot of points in here, but I want to push back on something slightly. Is there a risk of going too far, becoming too blunt, too hard-edged?
Yes, absolutely. If clarity is not paired with respect, clarity does not mean being aggressive or dismissive. It means being precise and honest. Those two things are completely compatible. You can tell someone directly that their work isn't meeting the standard and do it in a way that treats them with full respect.
So I think the distinction I've found useful here in this conversation is intent. Clarity with the intent to help someone improve or understand their situation is very different from bluntness. That's really just frustration dressed up as directness. The first is a leadership tool. The second is just poor communication with a confident tone.
Well put. The intent matters most. And the employee can usually tell the difference. You can see that in different industries. There are some industries where they are very soft, where people are not very direct. And then you're in Germany, it's if you're building houses, people who work there, they are very clear, very direct, but they can still be very respectful. The people will understand the intent behind what someone tells you.
So practically, how should a founder start applying this? What's the first step?
I think before asking, how do I keep everyone happy? You should ask, is everything clear? Are roles clear? Are expectations clear? Are decisions documented? Because without clarity, harmony is temporarily at best.
And I'd also say, start small if it feels overwhelming, right?
Yep.
You don't have to rewrite every job description this week. Pick one area where you know there's ambiguity, one relationship, one role, one recurring decision that always seems to create confusion, and get specific about it. That single act of clarity often has a ripple effect.
Absolutely. I can just say that's the most important part. Don't do everything you think you need to change everything. Just think the first things which are most annoying and then go from there.
Yeah, a long journey always begins with the first step.
Right.
So the takeaway from today, harmony feels good in the moment. It's comfortable. It avoids the awkward conversation. But clarity is what builds a company that actually functions. One where people know what's expected, where trust is based on consistency rather than likability, and where problems get solved early instead of compounding quietly. If you have to choose where to start with clarity. This has been a genuinely useful conversation. I think a lot of founders will recognize themselves in these patterns. I certainly did. Thanks for laying it out so clearly.
Thank you very much, Brian. Subscribe for free today at fipodcast.vip/xbzv and join thousands of leaders receiving exclusive and actionable leadership insights you won't find anywhere else. Again, that is fipodcast.vip/xbzv.